Welcome, crafty friends. This is Michael here, and today I am going to show you how I created this background that is kind of a cloud-filled setting for this little Ferris wheel and the palm trees. This was inspired by the Paper Pack Beach Boardwalk, but I wanted to show you how I created that background. I have a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of paper, and then I have cut from the Cricut, but you could do this by just using circles and then drawing kind of a series of clouds or a link of clouds. And this is what we're going to use to create this cloudy texture that's behind here. Now, I was teaching this in a class last night, and we decided that maybe my sunset was upside down. So I'm going to give it a try this time, and I'm going to work in the reverse. So I'm going to work with a purple, the darker color first, and then move my way down to the lighter color. I have a combination here of different ink pads from different companies, so you'll see that as we go through. I've kind of put them all together. And then I'm using a blending brush. You could use a sponge. You could also possibly use a dauber. So you have some options. And then I like to just tap this off. I have a little extra piece of paper under here to keep my desk clean. But that gives me an idea of how much ink I have on my blending brush. And then I'm just going to work that purple in. And I like to get it darker towards the edge of the clouds, and then it's a little lighter above. Although since we're starting with this dark up above, I might change my mind on that. Okay, let's look. My next color is from Stampin' Up, and it's Petunia Pop. It's kind of a purpley pink, and I'm going to actually move this over a little bit like this here. And so I'm going to create another set of clouds. Again, inking up my blending brush here, and I'm going to tap that off, and then I'm going to go as close as I can to the edge of my clouds with my blending brush when it is loaded with more ink. But I'm going to also bring that ink a little bit lightly up into the purple, just so it's not stark white. Do you see how this is coming together? I just think it's such a fun way you can create your own sunset. Now we're using Peach Pie, kind of an orange color, and that is actually not what I want next. Next, I want Pretty in Pink. So I'm going to keep my pinks going here. So I've got Pretty in Pink. It's a softer pink than the Petunia Pop. I'm going to brush a little off there, and then I'm going to move this around a little bit to where we are at, and let's put some of that in. Now, I may run out of room for all 5 of my colors, but I do know it's still going to be a beautiful sunset. And I like to hold on to my blending brush by the head. I feel like I have more control than if I'm using it by the handle. So if you struggle with how to kind of use your blending brushes, maybe give that a try and see if that feels better for you. Okay, now we're going to move into the Peach Pie. I'm actually going to turn my die over, or my stencil over, so I have a different cloud aspect. I've got a little Peach Pie on there, and here we go, and I'm going to add that pretty orangey yellow color to my sunset. And I'm going to get this a little darker, a little bit closer to that. There we go. Okay, and one more color. I'm using Lemon from Close to My Heart, but I would recommend Daffodil Delight if you have that. I'm gonna pounce a little bit of that off, and let's see, what edge do I want to use here? we are gonna put a little piece of paper down, so it may not even really matter for this. I kind of wanna bring these up a little bit. So let's go right here. We'll see how that works. Okay, and then this is my light lemon color coming in. And with that there, I'm gonna then just kind of bring this part over here. And I can move that down and around, and a little lemon in there. And there you have your beautiful sunset look. Now for the rest of my card, it's all just assembly. So let's move this inky thing out of the way so we don't get ink everywhere, which I've already done. So I have some elements here for my card. I've got 2 palm trees, and then I've got this Ferris wheel here. And I am now just gonna adhere this to my card front. I'm using the background of Summer Splash, which was the colors of the year for 24 through 26. So this color, one of my favorites, will actually be retiring soon. Let's add this on here to my card. Here we go. And then this paper is a strip from the Beach Boardwalk, and it is an ombre piece. So I just cut up the different ombre pieces, and we're gonna add that right here to the bottom. That just kind of gives me a nice clean edge for my Ferris wheel and for my palm trees. I like to lift this up a little bit with the little mini dimensionals. So we're gonna add those to the back of the Ferris wheel. Now you could also use a black pen and draw an outline if you like that. I have made a few of these, and so I've just experimented with different ways to put this together, and that was one that I liked. Okay, so that's gonna go on here with a little dimension. So before I put that on, I am going to take my Memento black ink and ink pad, and I'm going to add my sentiment. Have the best day on the outside. And I've done that up in this upper left-hand corner. And then my inside sentiment, I'm gonna do in Petunia Pop, and that's happy birthday. Do you have or know someone who loves roller coasters or the fair or Ferris wheel or even cotton candy? I just think this is a fun little celebration card for them. Okay, so let's close that up. Now, what I want to do is space this out so I've got all my elements on the card. That's why I've done it in a horizontal orientation, because I tried it with the other way, but it was a little crowded. So that looks pretty good to me. Let's reveal all the sticky stuff here. And I'm gonna place this, I'm even gonna take it over the edge, just a hair there. Not the edge of the card, but the edge of my background, and lay that down there. And then I will add some adhesive to the back of my palm tree. And that's gonna go right on the edge. And I like my elements to kind of connect at least somewhere along the line. And then we'll add this one here as well. Okay. Now for the final touch, we are gonna add a little green dot here. You might be saying, those aren't green. Well, I ran out of the green dots, or the Summer Splash dots. So I am using one of my markers that I have here, and I am gonna color. Let's see if I can get ink on here. Let's go even darker. I didn't wanna get it too dark, but I'm gonna color my dot here with my alcohol markers. And when I have let that dry, it will be a permanent color on there, and it will match the Summer Splash that I have been using on this card. So let's pull that off. I want that right in the center there. Hopefully it's dry enough. Yeah. And there we have our card with our beautiful sunset. And now you can compare the two. This one I did the yellow on top and then came all the way down. And here I did the purple on top down to yellow. Which one do you like best? I would love to know. And if you try this technique, I would love for you to share that too. Thanks for coming by. Remember to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful for you, to ring the bell to follow my future videos, and to share it with a friend. Thank you.